I don't know how many of you watched the show Atlanta that comes on FX that's spearheaded by Donald Glover. But in the season finale of the last season, there was a scene where one of the characters got on the plane, and actually it was Donald Glover's character got on the plane, and he didn't realize he had a gun in the bag. And what he did was he took the gun and he took the bag, or he took the gun and he switched it with somebody else's bag, and it went off in the machine, and the person pretty much got stopped right then. They almost got held back from getting onto the plane. The reason why I'm mentioning that is because at a JFK Airport in New York, there was a passenger that was able to successfully carry a gun through the TSA checkpoint, and almost, if I'm not mistaken, got on the plane with the gun. Now, I've told y'all before that I work at an airport. I don't work with TSA. And the procedure is, when you have a firearm, well, with the airline that I work at, that I'm contracted through, you have to let the people at the front know that you have a gun, that you have a firearm. Then you have to give your firearm while it's in the case and unload it to the person at the front. They have to then carry the gun back while it's in the case to TSA. TSA has to manually check that gun. That gun does not go through a regular screening like the other luggage does. They have to check that, and they have to clean it, make sure that it's authorized, it's not an illegal firearm. Otherwise, they have to call down security and all types of stuff. And it could be a mess. Like, I've seen them where they had to call down security a couple of times to actually check someone's firearm. And that can take a long time. Like, they have to bring down the K9 and all of that. They have to call their supervisors and their higher ups. This is like a big deal when that happens. It rarely happens, but it does happen. And then oftentimes when the passenger has probably left and they suggest the passenger doesn't leave, they'll have to get on the intercom and call that passenger back from the gate and come back and, explain why did they have that gun. And sometimes I've seen where passengers actually ended up missing their flights because of that. And they had to get on another flight because they had to figure out how they're going to transport this weapon, if they even transport it at all. So, the reason why I'm saying that is because this shutdown has literally affected, is now trickling down and is affecting every single thing. Imagine if this person was able to successfully get on that plane with a gun, because that gun should not be going on them, on that plane with them in hand. The only person who can have a firearm on the plane with them is the air marshal. And from what I've heard, even they are starting to be affected by the shutdown as well. Imagine if you're on a flight and the air marshal cannot get onto the plane or doesn't fly. That means that if something happens while on the plane, those people on there are defenseless unless somebody there knows some good hand-to-hand combat techniques when they can disarm somebody with a gun. Because the air marshal is basically just a person who's like the police, the law enforcement on a plane. That's basically what they are. But this is it's getting real. It's getting real, serious. Because if they can just slip by like this, like nothing, then, anything can happen. And because these TSA agents are not getting paid, they are just not caring. And they're like, oh, well, if you pay us, then we'll do what we were supposed to do. And then a lot of them are quitting. A lot of them have applied for other jobs because they need the money. But this is serious because you don't know who is getting on these planes with these weapons. The gun, like I said, could be legal, but they're not supposed to carry it on there with them. But then I've also heard some people talk about how TSA has been lacking in some areas and everything like that, even before the shutdown. I even saw some people trying to say, don't blame this on the shutdown because they already got paid. This actually occurred on January 4th. The shutdown has been occurring since December 22nd, which means by that time, they've already missed a check, or they were bound to miss a check. Because I believe their first check was supposed to come this past Friday, which was the week after this happened. So, and that would have been like the end of that pay period, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, it's serious out here. But I just wanted to bring that story to you, just in case y'all are one of the ones who happen to fly. And every time I look at the news, they mention something about something happening with TSA. Like, it always usually goes back to them because they are essential workers. They have to be there. But, we are almost halfway. Tomorrow, January 15th, will be the halfway point of this month. We are at the halfway point of January. Before you know it, it'll be February. We are literally almost a month into the shutdown. The month will be on the 22nd, which is next Tuesday, I believe. So I don't know what to tell anybody on this. It's getting really spooky out here. But y'all let me know what y'all think about this down in the comments below. Like, share, subscribe. The links will be in the description. I will talk to you in the next one.